The Tampa Bay Buccaneers will release Antonio Brown after he quit on the team in Sunday's game against the New York Jets. It is one of the most bizarre things I think anyone's really seen in the middle of an NFL game. He literally took his jersey off. He then proceeded to take his shirt off, throw it into the stands along with his glove, and just walk out. We'll talk more about it in a second, but someone else, I should say, who is talking about this right now is Bruce Arians, and he was very candid in his remarks about the situation yesterday.
Can you tell us what happened to Antonio Brown? Did he quit? I've never seen a guy leave a field like that, and is this the last strike for him?
He is no longer a Buck. All right, that's the end of the story. Let's talk about the guys that went out there and won the game.
Tom, you mentioned Searle, and he's come up big. He had to today because he didn't have Antonio Brown the second half, most of it. How disappointed are you? Bruce Arians said he's no longer a Buck.
Yeah, I mean, that's obviously a difficult situation. And, I think we all want, him to just I think everybody should find, hopefully do what they can to help him in ways that he really needs it. And, we all love him. We care about him deeply. We want to see him be at his best. And, unfortunately, won't be with our team.
So there you heard head coach Bruce Arians basically say that Antonio Brown is no longer going to be a Tampa Bay Buccaneer. Tom Brady took more of an empathetic route. He does have a very good relationship with Antonio Brown. He considers him a very good friend. Remember, Tom Brady is someone who actually brought Antonio Brown into his home when he signed with New England following what happened with Oakland. And this is just, like I said, another in a long line of just bizarre antics, bizarre behavior that Antonio Brown has exhibited throughout his career, especially over the past 3 or 4 years. It starts in Pittsburgh. It starts in Pittsburgh with how things ended there. Him and Big Ben obviously had problems. And that situation, I could honestly see AB's side in. I could see why he would be upset. And sometimes things happen. Sometimes things happen professionally where you can't mend fences. Okay, fresh start, gets traded to Oakland. This is where I think the self-destructive behavior starts, as far as we can confirm. This is where I think it starts, because Antonio Brown had $30 million on the table, and all he had to do in Oakland was play his first game. He plays that first game on Monday Night Football. He gets his $30 million. What happened instead is he almost created a situation where Oakland was forced to cut him. First, it was yelling at Mike Mayock. Then it was the helmet. Then it was not coming to practice. And then it was recording his head coach's conversation, the conversation he was having with his head coach, and then putting it out into a video that he created. Self-destructive behavior. Literally, I've never seen anyone more willing to piss away $30 million than Antonio Brown was, but he did it. Gets cut from Oakland, doesn't get paid, signs, I believe, a $9 million contract, or worth up to a $9 million contract in New England, and he's playing well. Tom Brady brings him in. Tom Brady vouches for him. He's under the banner of Bill Belichick, the one coach who you would think would be able to put a lid on this and finally get all of this chatter out. But what happens leading up to it? We find out things about accusations made against Antonio Brown. We find out things that he's in legal trouble, that he's in a lot of trouble with the law. And then not only is that the case, and the Patriots were apparently not told about it, but on the flip side, Antonio Brown, while he was under contract, put his accuser apparently in a group chat, something of that nature, and threatened her, basically. Self-destructive behavior, and also destructive to the people around him. Gets cut from New England, and then he is on free agent for a while. Tom Brady goes to Tampa Bay. Tom Brady once again vouches for Antonio Brown. Last shot, really, if you look at it. Last shot in the NFL. If you can't make it work with Bill Belichick, there's very few people who would give you a last shot. This was all Tom Brady's doing as far as getting Antonio Brown signed, because that's the only reason you think Bruce Arians would actually bring him in, because Tom Brady asked for it. When Tom Brady asks for something, you give it to him. So he comes in. He's producing very well. He's a part of their run last year. This year, he looked to be a bigger part of the run as we saw the injuries. But then what happened? The fake vaccine card thing comes out, and it's more drama, more self-destructive behavior. He gets suspended for 3 games, and you would think that, maybe he might get released because of that, because there's been a lot of strikes against him already, and this is just another distraction for the team. Injuries happen. Mike Evans gets hurt. Chris Goodwin gets hurt. Okay, they gotta move on and move on with AB as far as having him on the team and move forward with him taking on a bigger role. That's what they do. He played very well last week. Yesterday, he started 3 catches, 26 yards, and then abruptly quits. Apparently, Mike Evans and O.J. Howard, 2 of his teammates, teammates that apparently he's close to at least, went over to him and tried to convince him to just chill out, stay. He did not. Like I said, takes off his jersey, takes off his shirt, throws it into the stands, throws his gloves into the stands. While the game is still going on. It's still going on the other side of the field. I believe the Jets were out on offense. So the game's going on, and AB is just in the far end zone, putting up the do sign, putting up the peace sign, waving to the fans, being a bit of a distraction, to say the least, because the cameras were all over him when this happened. And then he goes into the tunnel, and it was reported that he was actually escorted out of the building. It was also reported that he did not, in fact, fly home on the team plane, which is not a surprise, I think, to anyone. And there's a picture going around of him apparently calling an Uber or something. I don't know about all that, but ESPN did report that as far as we know, the biggest detail we know is Antonio Brown did, in fact, quit. We don't know the exact circumstances of this. We don't know the exact reason why Antonio Brown quit, but he quit. And the self-destructive behavior, I think, has reached its boiling point at this point. Antonio Brown's NFL career is done. It's over. Every single place he's gone to, he's not only created drama, he's not only created distraction, he's not only created problems, but he's created and added to a persona. He's added to this I don't even want to say trope about wide receivers and himself particularly, that everything he touches, everything he comes in contact with, every time he goes somewhere, he's going to be a distraction, and he's going to self-destruct eventually. That is, and as great as a wide receiver as Antonio Brown was, perennial All-Pro, was on pace to be one of the best wide receivers of all time, could have been one of the best wide receivers of all time. But the self-destructive behavior, the antics, all of that have derailed his legacy. He goes from being one of the most productive wide receivers in NFL history to being one of the least productive distractions. That is his legacy, unfortunately. And it doesn't give me pleasure to say this. I hope Antonio Brown gets help, because what he's showing is a complete lack of impulse control. I hope he seeks help. I hope the people around him and the people who love him, like Tom Brady, do get him help. But I also hope the people around him who he's come in contact with, potentially people he's also hurt, also get the help they need. He's in his 30s. It's at some point you have to take responsibility for your actions. At some point you have to take responsibility for what you do on and off the field, and how it affects other people, and how it affects your friends. I don't know when that day is going to come for AB, but hopefully it comes soon. Thanks for watching this video from Real Take Sports Talk. Remember to like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever a new video is released. Also, remember to check out our live show every single Thursday at 8 p.m. right here on the YouTube channel. And remember, keep it real.